What's up, YouTube? Okay, so I know the lighting kind of makes me look green, or at least to me it makes me look green. I hope to you it doesn't make me look green, but okay. So I am going to do a tag, as title says, and the tag was originally like the 17 random questions tag that Juicy Star 07 did like a long time ago, just because like I was searching tag videos because I wanted to do a tag video because I have nothing else to do tonight, but I wanted to record a video. So, but then like the last question kind of threw me off, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna make add on random questions, because she did 17 because that's how old she turned that year, was 17. So I did 21 since I'm 21 and have them all written out on my phone. So we're gonna get started into that, and I'm gonna apologize now because I think my dog is gonna interrupt me because my dog's being very whiny today. So number 1, how did you get your username? My username is actually an old, not really an old nickname, but it's like an old blog name that I used to use all the time, and I used to be a huge blogger back when I was younger, like about my personal life and stuff. So yeah, it just came from that. It was like every account that I was making at the time, like that was just the set username that I make. Like I didn't really put a lot of thought into it. 2, if you could change your name to anything, what would it be and why? I'm gonna take this as like my actual name, not my username. I don't really think I would change my name. Like, I know all the time that I say I hate my name, but I mean, it's who I am, and my name's different and unique, and it kind of like explains the type of person I am, because I am totally like not anything I've ever met before in my life. Number 3, if you could go back in time and give your younger self advice, what would it be and why? Hands down, the advice I would give myself is go with your heart and your gut, don't go with your mind, and if you put your foot forward, you will get on with the obstacles that you're not going to think that you're going to overcome, and love the one that will love you for who you are, not for what they want you to be. Number 4, how old were you when you blew a bubblegum bubble? To be quite honest with you, I was probably about 4 when I blew my first bubblegum, because I kind of remember trying. I don't really remember succeeding. I remember trying all the time, and like my brother's making fun of me because I couldn't do it. Number 5, what did you want to be when you grew up, and why? I left words out of that question. When I grew up, or when I was younger, I wanted to be a vet. Like, I was hands down like vet material. And then as I got older, things changed, and then I didn't really know what I wanted to be, and then like all of a sudden I wanted to be like a counselor / a psychology major, and I am now majoring in that in college. Okay. Number 6, what do you order at Starbucks? I either order a vanilla bean frappuccino or a strawberries and cream frappuccino. Number 7, what's the hardest you've ever laughed? Okay, I have a lot of memories in my head that I can tell you that are like extremely funny to me, and a lot of like inside jokes between like me and like my friends from high school. But the hardest I can ever remember laughing, and I think this is just because it has like a sentimental value to me, is my grandma used to tell me and my cousin this horror story going home, and like we'd take this like creepy countryway home, and it would be like all dark, and she'd be telling it to us, and it's not even that scary. Like now that I'm 21 and I hear the story, I'm like, seriously, I screamed every time over this story, and it was always the same story, the same things always happened, and she always like changed the characters' names, so it was like me and my brothers and like my cousin. But me and my cousin were like we were too old for the story at the time. Like, okay, the story had passed. We should be past that age or whatever. But we were like, come on, Grandma, tell us the story. Tell us the story. So my grandpa was like, fine, I'll tell you the story. And he was just like a huge smartass throughout the entire story. And he was like saying this stuff and going on and on and on. And it was just really funny. And like me and my cousin were in the backseat laughing so hard that we were crying. Like it hurt that we like begged him to stop because it hurt so bad. It was bad. But it was just so funny, and that's like a memory that me and my cousin share, that like we both remember very well, is that moment in the car with my grandpa, because like a year and a half later my grandpa actually passed away. So it's one of my favorite memories of my grandpa, and it's probably the hardest I can actually say I've ever laughed. Ew. Kind of disgusting. Number 8. If you can play any instrument, which would it be and why? And this question I kind of thought about, like, as I was, sorry I keep playing with my hair. This is a question I actually thought about, like, when I was reading the tag or whatever, and I would probably play the harp, just because you don't hear that very often. Like, it's such a beautiful instrument, and, like, it sounds really, really pretty when it's being played, but not everybody that, like, I can walk into a building full of people and be like, what instrument do you guys play? And, like, half of them are going to be like piano, the other half are going to be like guitar, and then there's going to be like a few kids in the back going, I play drums because I'm a hard ass. I want to be the one that stands up and go, I play harp. I just think it'd be really cool to be able to say, I can play harp. Number 9, what's your favorite thing to do when you're upset? Usually, it depends on how upset I am. Like, if I'm extremely upset to the point where I, like, want to cry, then I get on my computer, I go to my blog, and I just type, and I type, and I type, and I type, and I type, until I can't, you know, type anymore. If I'm just, like, kind of upset, and I'm, like, not really on the verge of tears, then I put on sad music, which is, like, torturing myself, but I put on sad music, and I listen to sad music for the rest of the time. Number 10. What's your favorite movie? My favorite movie is a tie between 3, and that is The Nightmare Before Christmas will always be, like, one of my all-time favorite movies. Like, I always say that I have, like, 17,000 favorite movies, because it's true that I do. Number 2 would definitely be The Perfect Man by Hilary Duff. By Hilary Duff? Not by Hilary Duff, with Hilary Duff. Because I love any, like, Hilary Duff movies or anything like that. Like, Hilary Duff is my favorite actress. Or, Dear John and The Last Song are tied, which you guys know that I love Nicholas Sparks, so that explains it. If you hear squeaking in the background, my dog's playing with a stuffed elephant, and so it's going to be squeaking. Number 11. What's one food you cannot live without? One food I cannot live without would be spaghetti. I am a huge spaghetti fanatic. Like, I know it's really bad for me and I really shouldn't eat it because it's loaded with carbs, but I love spaghetti. Like, I should be Italian. I'm not, but I should be. What's your favorite dessert? This is kind of funny. I don't really eat dessert, and if I had to eat dessert, I'm going to say this, and I don't want you guys to, like, yell at me and tell me this is disgusting. It is chocolate cake and fruit cocktail. Like, you take a slice of chocolate cake and you put fruit cocktail over the top of it, and then, like, if you want to get even extra unhealthy, you got dollop some whipped cream on it. The most amazing thing you'll ever taste in your life. 13. Favorite pizza topping? Cheese. I'm very plain. I know. Like, sometimes I'll spice it up and get pepperonis. I know. So daring. But most of the time, I just eat cheese. Cheese pizza. Number 14. Would you rather have superpowers to read minds or the superpower to be invisible? Okay. To read minds, you'd hear what every single person, like, is talking or thinking as you're walking down the road, kind of like Edward Cullen-ish, and that would drive me bananas. Like, I would not want to know what everybody's thinking about. So I would pick the power to be invisible. Like, I'd love to be invisible and be able to, like, you know those sayings that is like, I really wish I could be on the fly on the wall, like, in that conversation? I totally would love to be invisible just for that reason. Number 15. What did you do for your last birthday? My last birthday was my 21st birthday. I went out to eat with my parents, or I didn't go out to eat. I went to my boyfriend's house with my parents and my aunt he had a cookout for us and his parents, and then I went to the local bar and did what most 21-year-olds do on their 21st birthday. Number 16. If you had one selfish wish, what would it be and why? And I'm going to be bluntly honest right now and say that my one selfish wish would be to be with the person that I love and not let anything hold me back, not let my fears hold me back, not let my emotional attachments hold me back, not let anything hold me back, and me just, like, be with the person that I truly 100% love with all of my heart right now. Number 17. What is your favorite reality TV show? My favorite reality TV show is Teen Mom / 16 and Pregnant. I know people, like, yell out about them, but that's probably my all-time favorite. But then, like, Sweet Home Alabama, and I I don't even know if a lot of people watch this show. So if you watch the show, you should totally comment down below, especially like within the next week, because this is the finale week, and tell me who you think should win. But Sweet Home Alabama is like a country spinoff of The Bachelor kind of thing. Yeah, it's really good. Number 18, what is your favorite genre of music? I am a huge country fanatic. I listen to country, I live country, I rule country. Like, country is my thing. I think I've said this before in videos, like, I am a huge country girl. I didn't grow up in the South, I grew up in Southern Indiana, I grew up in a hick town. Like, it's just a very country life. Number 19, what is your number one pet peeve? I have two. I'm cheating. I have two. When people misspell my name, but then again, I love my unique name. And my second one would be when people call a remote a clicker. This sucker is a freaking remote. It's not a clicker. It doesn't click when you touch it. It is a remote. And it just fell on the floor. Number 20. One thing you want to do before you die. Again, I'm going to be bluntly honest and say the one thing that I want to do before I die is take the biggest risk of my life and be with a person that I truly love right now, and hopefully live a happy life with them and be 100% like glad to be with them and not regret, which I don't regret very often. Like, I don't believe in regretting, because at one point in time it's what I wanted to do, but I just want to be able to like sit down and be with that person that I love and all that fun stuff. So that's one thing I want to do before I die. And number 21, one memory you wish you could relive over and over. There's a particular day I wish I could like relive and maybe even like change a few things about it. Not really like change a whole lot about it, but just change my shyness about everything. That would be pretty cool. I'm not going to go into detail due to the fact that I have like a lot of people that I know that watch my videos now, and I don't want to give off too many details and they'd be like, I know what you're talking about. But, so with that being said, that's one day I'd like to either like relive. I don't really know if I'd like want to relive it, or if I'd just kind of like to have a day like that happen again, but not exactly like that, because you kind of need that day to go on with like the next days, if that makes any sense. Like, I don't know, I'm kind of rambling now. But anyway, so those are the 21 random questions, and I kind of like, I didn't really create the tag. Like, the first 16 questions were created by Juicy Star 07, but the last, the last 5 were created by me. Because the 17th question in hers is like, what does OMGHHKP mean to you? And it means nothing to me. It's something that she came up with. So, that being said, I tag you to do this. I'm not going to tag, I don't know, I might tag specific people, but I tag you to do this. I'm sorry for the tag videos like crazy. Like, I just did a tag unique questions video. But I actually have another video coming up that's a continuation of my last video, and by continuation of my last video, I mean my last video that's the you never know what's gonna happen video. So I'm gonna continue with that, and then okay, bye.